So I think this is quite a difficult and upsetting debate, and I'm not quite sure why. And it may be because some of the people one knew are now dead. It may be just because some of the things that are being said I don't think are true. And I actually want to set the record straight, and in the short time I have, to correct some of the false assumptions which I think are being made, but also a few observations. I pay tribute also to the excellent speeches by many, but especially the chairman of the Select Committees for Foreign and Defence Affairs. I thought were incredibly good. This is an appalling self-inflicted wound, and it is an unnecessary self-inflicted wound. We are being presented here with a choice. You invest more blood and more treasure, or you walk away. No. We had a steady state, give or take, in Afghanistan for the last few years. It was a training, equip and mentoring mission. A large one for sure, but for between 5,000 and 20,000 troops, contractors, special forces, etc., who were there, that is smaller than many NATO, US bases and missions around the world. We have chosen to politically withdraw. We have not been forced to do so on security grounds. And I think we will be regretting this decision for many years. The collapse happened because a truly dreadful US President, Donald Trump, who was probably in hock to the Russians, dealt with the Taliban behind the Afghan government's back. A shocking betrayal. Joe Biden, who admires Kennedy, we had some great quotes from Kennedy earlier, could have changed things. He has chosen not to, and he has opened the United States, Europe, India, many allies throughout the world to considerable terrorist risks, from the 2,500 to 4,000 jihadi nutjobs who are currently being released, pardon my French, from Bagram, from Kandahar and from Kabul. And when they have stopped slaughtering our friends, when they have stopped beheading a few key women journalists, they will turn their attention to us. This was an anti-terrorist operation, and we have walked away from a successful anti-terrorist operation after 20 years. And sooner or later, we will reap the rewards. Afghans didn't fight. Now, lots of people saying they didn't. They're absolutely right. My own experiences, I was there 4 times over 7 months, not long tours, 4 months, 2 months, and a few weeks either time. They actually fought, many of them, very hard. Some of the police, at first, yes, there was an uneven flow of recruits. But I remember I had the privilege of patrolling in Nadi Ali North, I think it was, with a small team. I have to say, these people were remarkable. When you go into the village, they'll tell you where the Taliban were watching you from. They'll tell you which haystack, which bun line, why the motorcycle repairman had to work for the Taliban, because his children and his wives were under threat. They'd also tell you that they would happily take their children to school, their daughters to school, but why should they when there's not enough security to prevent them being raped and abducted on the way home from school? And I have to say, sometimes it was difficult to give them an answer that reassured. So those people were very courageous. In many ways, they were a model of courageous integrity. They were effective, they were efficient, they loved their country, and they knew right from wrong. They're probably dead. If they weren't killed a year ago, they will be finished off as we speak. And I find that upsetting. Thank you.
He makes an excellent point, and it's been made by a few others, but my honourable friend from the Foreign Affairs Committee always looks at these things with a keen eye. But given what he's just said, isn't that why it's so offensive that their contribution has been swept away, in particular by the President, over the past few days?
Thank you very much indeed for your contribution. Yes, absolutely. And to dismiss them, and to dismiss the 70,000 people who died, I think is absolutely wrong. They were uneven at times, especially in the beginning, but actually there were also many very brave male soldiers, but also female soldiers, and the journalists, and all those people who engaged in civil society, and who now are going to be shut down. They're not all going to be murdered. They're clever, the Taliban. They will carry out some high-profile assassinations to silence others. But the direction of travel is clear. And I have to say, the Secretary of State is in his place now, and he is one of the few people, the Secretary of State for Defence, who has emerged from this with any credit, because he's able to see the bigger picture. He's understood the geopolitics, the rationale, but also the emotions of many troops who've served there, and he shared that, and I thank him very much for that. As the honourable friend from Chickford-Woodford Green said, Russia and China are happy on it today. Taiwan and Ukraine are considerably more nervous. We are weaker. A weak and divided West, and Europe has been as bad as the United States in not stepping up to the mark, and several people have said that, honourable members have said that. But a weak and divided West is not a recipe for a caring future for anybody. It is a recipe for global instability and greater global threat. Thank you.